In the case of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the lessons learned from the disaster, the December 2013 disaster, Head of Social and Sustainable Development at the OECS Secretariat, Vincentian Bentley Brown, says there is a need for improved and enhanced warning systems. He says there is also a need to get communities to develop disaster plans so that they themselves could be better prepared to deal with the immediate impact when a disaster strikes. He too is of the view that member countries within the OECS and CARICOM must pool their resources to deal with climate change.
We should also seriously look at the response. In many cases, we try to fix the problem and the damage overnight. But we know in a lot of cases, we need to seriously look at more long-term solution. Moving people out of some of the existing areas, developing better land use planning, better building standards, better building codes, and enforcing those codes. These are some of the issues I think we really have to address. But given the nature of the problem we have, if we do a lot of it on a collective basis, if we look at serious land policies and we move on the regional level in the OECS, we will be better able to help each other, because on our own we could hardly deal with the existing social and economic vulnerabilities, much less those being posed now by the threat from climate change.
The one-week workshop on climate change is organized by the OECS Secretariat under the theme Climate Change and Natural Hazards Approaches to Managing Risk and Building Resilience.
These two broad categories of policy actions are complementary tools in a policy portfolio designed with the ultimate goal of reducing climate risk as much as possible. Development can be planned in ways that reduce our vulnerability to climate change, such as through land use planning that takes climate risk into account. For example, not building on floodplains or on stable slopes, building seawalls and levees and restoring wetlands to protect our coasts, altering farm practices to conserve water and to grow heat-resistant varieties of crops, building infrastructure that can withstand extreme weather, enforcing existing legislation on such things as building codes, setbacks, and in general, through the integration of climate change adaptation measures in national development planning.
Dr. Trotz further noted that all CARICOM countries need to take urgent action to decrease the damage that can arise on their natural and human systems as a result of climate change impacts. He said it is time that these countries fully integrate climate risk in national development planning.
We must keep in mind that adaptation is not cheap, and that the longer we delay action on adaptation, the more expensive it becomes. Like other developing countries, lack of the necessary resources seriously hampers our ability to adapt. Successful adaptation to and mitigation of climate change will also require a significant shift in the behavioral patterns of Caribbean people. For this reason, one of the key tasks of institutions charged with leading action on climate change would be to institute a significant public education and outreach program that raises awareness of this developmental challenge across all layers of Caribbean society and prepare our populations to make the adjustments in lifestyle which will be essential for their survival and well-being. An enlightened population will also ensure, hopefully, that the issue of climate change will not be put on the back burner of the region's policy makers.
The workshop is organized by the OECS Secretariat under the theme Climate Change and Natural Hazards Approaches to Managing Risk and Building Resilience. Meanwhile, the Director of the School of Earth and Environment Sciences at the University of Guyana, Dr. Paulette Bino, says hazards in themselves may not necessarily constitute disasters, and that the effects of disasters are determined by the extent of a society or a community's vulnerability to the hazard. Dr. Bino spoke of a 10-point action plan that can be adopted by member states in terms of disaster risk reduction, which she says should be everyone's business.
Reactive management will not work. It has to be proactive management. And in that context, we always need data that will help us to make informed decisions. The second action we can take is promote public awareness, education, and training. And this must never be seen as a peripheral issue when we are addressing the issue of managing disaster risks. It is very important. It's a cornerstone of sustainable development, because that is going to help us to change perceptions and change attitudes in respect of hazards and disasters.
Teachers here are being told that in times of disasters, they're expected to make themselves available to offer assistance whenever and wherever possible. This was pointed out today by Chief Education Officer Luan Gilchrist, who was addressing a psychological approach training workshop hosted by the Ministry of Education at the Peace Memorial Hall. Gilchrist says that she was taken aback when she discovered that many teachers were not aware of this fact.
Of Education, as public servants, as human beings, we have an engagement to ensure that we reach out to assist those who need our assistance. I was struck 4 years ago when I visited a school, and I told the teachers there that whenever there is an event in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that we should not wait to be called out to serve. We immediately find out. You call your head teacher, call the Ministry of Education, find out where your assistance is needed. Go there as long as it is safe for you to go there. Teachers challenged me and asked me where in their job description it said that they were to report in times of disaster.
Meanwhile, the Chief Education Officer says school counselors will embark on a training workshop to provide psychological support to students affected by natural disasters. Gilchrist pointed out that the most important element of recovery is recovery of the psychosocial health.
And as a result of this, UNICEF has committed itself to funding activities to ensure, one, that students and their families who are affected adversely by the trauma are given a chance to have, what shall we call it, an activity to assist them to return to happiness. A funding is part of this activity for the students. That funding will take place within the next few weeks.
The training is to facilitate counselors to be of assistance to students ages 5 to 12 in the event of a disaster.
SELF is financing this workshop so that you, our counselors, can see your capacity to deliver psychosocial support to students and their families. And so that when you return to school, you will be able to interact with these students more meaningfully. You'll be able to reassure them and to say to them that there is hope, there is life after the trauma.
The new ambassador of the Republic of China on Taiwan to SVG arrived in the state on Friday. His Excellency Yi Bo-shun previously served as a Consul General in Chicago. He is expected to present his credentials to Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves on Friday and then to Governor General, who is presently out of the state. A cocktail ceremony will be held tomorrow evening to welcome the new Taiwanese ambassador to SVG. A 4-year jail term was on Friday handed down to Alaski Samuel, a 29-year-old businessman of Redemption Shops, after he was convicted by Senior Magistrate Rachel Brown Matthias on 4 separate gun-related charges. The charges are said to have stemmed from a stop-and-search mission by members of the Rapid Response Unit at Battery Hill on August 18, 2014. Samuel was reportedly intercepted with one Glock firearm and 27 rounds of 9mm ammunition while he was traveling in a vehicle on the date in question. 1 pair of black gloves and a bulletproof vest were also found in the vehicle, but Samuel was not charged for the same. Meanwhile, the police have arrested Keisha Wiley, a preschool teacher of Evesham, on a charge of theft. She is accused of depriving Susan DeShong, a resident of Liberty Lodge, of one blue cell phone valued at $599 on August 18, 2014 in Kingstown. Wiley appeared at the Kingston Magistrate Court last Friday and pleaded guilty to the charge. She was fined $250 and $30 compensation for a SIM card to be paid forthwith or face a 3-week jail term. The court heard that on the date in question, Deshawn went into a store in Kingstown to do a transaction and forgot her cell phone on a bench in the store. Upon realizing where she had left her phone, she returned back to the store to inquire about it and was told by one of the store clerks that the phone was given to Wiley, who claimed that the phone was hers. The police was informed of the incident and, having carried out investigations, arrested and charged Wiley for the offense. The Pan Against Crime program has been reaching its objectives in keeping many of the young children occupied with learning the skill of playing the steel pan. Speaking at a graduation ceremony at the Mariquah Government School, representative of the National Commission on Crime Prevention, the NCCP, Ms. Maureen Cupid, said that crime affects persons in different ways. She says it is important to understand the impacts of crime and figure out ways to deal with it so that it wouldn't affect the younger generation. Cupid added that the program can be viewed as a solution because it gives the young ones an opportunity to develop a skill, and that being in the program helps to keep the children occupied and off the streets.
We therefore need many approaches, resources, and social intervention to tackle crime or the factors leading to crime prevention. We also know that individuals and families' habit, values, and attitude matter, even if they are formed in the context of broader society norms. And this is where the Pan Against Crime Committee, along with other stakeholders, seek to make its input by encouraging our youth to play a pan, arrange a song, build a mind, and down with violence and crime.
The Pan Against Crime initiative was first thought of by Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves in 2008 to promote steel pan as an instrument to assist in the reduction of crime and violence in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Physical activity is essential to prevent and reduce risk of many diseases and also keeps persons in shape, allowing them to enjoy leisure activities and safely perform work and home chores. In this report, Jamisha Wright looks at why Vincentians should associate themselves with fitness and wellness.
Did you know that physical activity is one of the most important things one can do for their overall health? Among the benefits of physical activity are weight control, reducing the risk of some cancers, and also improving one's mental health and mood. SVG-TV News caught up with Assistant Sports Officer in the Ministry of Tourism, Sports and Culture, Samantha Lynch, who says, contrary to popular beliefs, physical fitness is for everyone and can have a positive bearing on the national budget.
I really would like to, Vincentian, to realize how important physical fitness is.
Well, that's really was going to be my next question. Overall, you think Vincentians slight the importance of being fit?
I really wouldn't say that they slight it, but we still need to see more persons actively involved on a day-to-day basis. Maybe a lot of them do not know how important it is to them, so you bringing this might be able to reach lots of persons who are just sitting down doing nothing, think they don't have the time. They can exercise just a activity that lasts as 20 minutes a day will help in the functioning of your lungs, and a good thing too is that it cause you to have less visits to the doctor, hospitalization and medication, and our economy needs this right now.
Meanwhile, SVG-TV News on Saturday spoke with some members of the Ronnie's Fitness Center at Mackey's Hill, who say keeping fit has helped tremendously with their overall health and productivity level. Tell us how often you work out.
Basically, I try and work out at least 5-6 days a week, doing taekwondo, riding bike, sprints, skipping, basically just all-around fitness.
All right, and tell us, how do you feel though overall, your day, your productivity level? When you exercise, do you feel like more, energized?
As they call me the hype man. Always energetic.
I like coming to the gym. It really gives me a huge opportunity to blow off all the stress of the week. And again, it's general fitness. I think it's important to for your general lifestyle. Really, a lot of people say, look, it's very difficult to be going to work and going to the gym. I think they're really looking too much into it. It could be 45 minutes at the gym. I mean, we spend maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours. That's because I guess we're accustomed to it and we're in a rhythm, so it's easy to flow through. But it's simple. 45 minutes, come to the gym, even if it's to jog, some simple exercises, and you get home, you would see how much that really does for you. A few years ago, I used to be like around 242 pounds. So I've dropped significantly. Constantly, I'm around 205 pounds.
So there, doctor.
Why, you oversized or something?
No, really had medical complications.
Okay.
But after a while, you kind of get more fun, and the energy kept building, and I lost a lot of weight.
20 minutes per day will go a long way. Get up, do it, get active. It's for you and your health.
Jamisha Wright reporting for SVG-TV News.